One of the easiest ways to gain the upper hand from your opponent is to mobilize more numbers than your opponent. But unlike wars where there is no limit to how many troops they use, football is characterized by the same number as each other unless they are sent off 11 to 11. How do I gain the upper hand in a 1v1 situation that inevitably comes up against this backdrop? You just have to be able to outperform your opponent. This concept is often referred to as qualitative advantage. 1v1 situations usually appear on the side of the open space rather than in the center where the players are concentrated. So, players with excellent dribbling skills are placed on the side to overcome 1v1. The main character of the qualitative advantage I'm going to analyze with this time is Arsenal's right-wing Soccer. Brighton's left full-back against Soccer was Milner. In fact, Milner never allowed Soccer to break through in this game. Soccer tried to dribble 4 times in this match, but succeeded only once. This one-time success was not against Milner, but against Igor, who was put in place of Milner. Milner seems to have been particularly good at dribbling in this game alone, but statistically, he has a 67.7% success rate of tackle against dribbler. He is a strong player in 1v1 with the top 6% in fullback countryside. What Arsenal were aiming for was Milner's speed, because Milner was born in '86 and was a veteran who had lost a lot of focus. To aim for this, Odegaard immediately poked a pass into Milner's back space when he had the chance. Soccer, who gets the ball in front of the defensive line, hands it to Odegaard and runs into the back space. So Milner retreats to cover the back space rather than go forward and stop Odegaard. Here, rather than finding a pass route while attacking the pocket, Odegaard immediately puts the pass toward the back space. Milner was positionally superior to Soccer, but he was pushed from the speed and allowed to penetrate the back space. Arsenal even recorded a valid shot. What about this scene? Milner is out in front, so that Soccer doesn't catch the ball and turn around. Odegaard, who receives the ball here, does not delay and immediately stabs the pass towards Milner's back space. As expected, Milner can't catch up with Soccer. Soccer, who succeeded in penetrating, even creates a critical chance. It was a qualitative superiority tactic using speed, targeting Milner. For me, this was the most shocking game after the last match against Manchester City. This is because Brighton's first shot came in the 64th minute of the second half. Led by De Zerbi, Brighton are a strong attacking team with only 3 fewer goals than Arsenal. That's how effective Arsenal's defense was. In particular, they made quite a few threatening scenes in front of pressure situations, cutting off the front and leading to counterattacks. But there was a flip side to Arsenal's strong forward pressure. That's because Arsenal pulled up the line and pressed it hard, so there was more rear space to cover, and they consumed players with 1v1 on the opposing field player. In this case, Arsenal gives up its numerical advantage in the rear by 1v1 numerical equivalent, so if a variable occurs, the risk is very high. Of course, before Brighton can take advantage of these structures, if they succeed in cutting off the front, the risk will be greatly reduced. However, Brighton are the team that has made the most short passes in the league, beating Manchester City. In other words, it's a team that has the ability to create a situation that attracts and releases Arsenal's pressure with a short pass and connects to the front. Brighton's build-up situation. Arsenal are pressing to 1v1, so all the near pass routes are blocked. Brighton comes out through a short pass and connects to the right. Left centre-back Gabriel is up very high to block the opponent's centre-forward. Brighton connecting to the right wing from here. In response, Zinchenko puts a lot of pressure on him to stop him from turning around, preventing him from attacking. There was a lot of space to defend 1v1 on the other side, and as mentioned earlier, Gabriel was also moving forward. If Zinchenko had been breached here, it would have been the opening of the highway. This scene is also Brighton, who maintains possession with a short pass with Arsenal pulling up the pressure line. As expected, Arsenal is 1v1 from the front, so it's 1v1 from the back. Brighton kick forward in this situation. It was directed at the coming down centre forward. Gabriel clings close and stops the attack. If you look at Arsenal's defence line, you can see that this scene is also a very dizzying structure. If the centre forward endured Gabriel's pressure and passed to his teammate on the left, the only player to block this vast space was Zinchenko blocking the right winger. It was a structure that could have caused a major disaster even with a small mistake, but there was no major crisis due to the activities of rear players. Do you remember the match against Chelsea in the second round of the 21-22 season, 2 seasons ago? During Brighton's attack this game, there was a scene that reminded me of that time, so I'm going to analyze with it. The purpose of this attack pattern is to free up the player located on the side and create space to utilize. The first step for this is to put a direct pass into the center forward located in the center between the opponent's defensive lines. To do this, the bait movement creates a gap in the formation of the relative middle line. It's about creating a passway to the center forward. The ball is then connected to the center forward, and at the same time, the player who was in the half penetrates in, pulling the opposing full back inside, creating space on the target side. Of course, it doesn't end with creating a side space, but you have to connect the ball to this space. The center forward who received the ball is on his back, so it is difficult to connect the ball directly. Instead, the opponent's defense narrows the formation around it to prevent space for the center forward. This creates a freeman who is free. Instead of a center forward with his back, you use the freeman looking forward to target the empty side space. In a structure with 5 players on the side, half and center, attacking midfielder Lallana is in between Arsenal's midline. Here Lallana falls to the right, luring Rice and creating a passway to the center forward. It is then connected to the center forward, and at the same time, the player in the right half takes the penetration movement. The move brings Zinchenko, the left fullback, deep into the center and creates a vast space on the side. Meanwhile, Arsenal's defensive formation narrows to block the space of the center forward who received the ball. That's how Milner, who was in the left half, becomes a free man and receives the ball. Looking ahead, Milner is easy to put in a pass, but luckily for Arsenal, Milner's pass misses occur. Now, let's take a look at Chelsea's attack 2 years ago. Now we see our teammate Havertz. Havertz falls outside, luring Lokonga on the middle line. That's how you secure the path to center forward. At the same time as it connects to center forward Lukaku, Mount on the right half comes inside, luring left fullback Tierney. That's how the side space is created, and right wing-back James is free. Kovacic, who became a free man, receives the ball as Arsenal's defensive formation leans toward Lukaku. Kovacic, who then connects to James. Chelsea score easily as the side are attacked. Brighton could have created a threatening scene if Milner had made the pass. It was Brighton who showed sharpness even in the overwhelming flow.